Ray tracing. Ray tracing is a graphics feature that simulates how light interacts with surfaces to produce realistic images. It calculates reflections, refractions, shadows, and global illumination by tracing individual rays of light from the camera into the scene. To make this clear, let's compare these two images. In the vanilla shot, the developers had to manually place fake lights to make sure the car wasn't pitch black. But in the overdrive shot, where ray tracing is turned on, the developers didn't have to do anything. They just turned on the lights and let the math figure out where the shadows and reflections should go. But while ray tracing provides stunning, realistic visuals, you don't always have to use it. It is mainly suitable for games featuring high concentrations of reflective surfaces, such as glass, mirrors, or water. Because in these scenarios, the way light bounces and refracts is highly visible to the player. But if the game mostly takes place in open-world areas, such as deserts, rocky terrain, or forests like this, the difference between ray tracing and traditional rasterization becomes almost indistinguishable. Also, enabling this feature can cut your frame rate by 30 to 50% instantly. And in fast-paced titles like Valorant or Call of Duty, that extra performance is far more valuable than a few realistic shadows. Path tracing. Path tracing is an advanced form of ray tracing that simulates the full, realistic paths of light rays through a 3D scene for photorealistic rendering. With ray tracing, it only handles effects like direct reflections or shadows with targeted rays. But if you look closely at this image, some areas that should be catching light, like the deep corners of the building or the pavement furthest from the sign, are unnaturally dark. Even though that red neon sign is incredibly bright, the light isn't traveling. It hits a surface and just stops. But with path tracing, it calculates and simulates the full, realistic path of every light ray. Instead of rays just stopping, they bounce over and over again. Look at how that red light now splashes onto the concrete, filling those dark gaps from the first image with a warm, realistic glow. This is called global illumination, and it's the only way to achieve true photorealism. However, simulating those full paths is so heavy that in 2026, we are still relying on massive AI cheats to make it work. Technologies like DLSS or FSR redstone actually have to guess and fill in up to 90% of the pixels, because a GPU trying to calculate every single path at 4K would essentially stop moving. And as said before, more realistic isn't always better. In scenes with already balanced lighting and good art design, you might not even notice the difference with path tracing. On the other hand, in scenes with many reflective materials like this, path tracing can make everything look too strong and distracting, making the screen look messy. In these cases, standard ray tracing is actually better because it gives you the nice reflections you want without overdoing it. This balance is why most users prefer ray tracing over path tracing. DLSS, or Deep Learning Supersampling, is a graphics feature made by Nvidia that upscales lower-resolution game images in real time to deliver sharper visuals and higher frame rates. To understand why DLSS is necessary, you have to look at the sheer amount of work your hardware is doing. For example, when you play a game at a native 4K resolution, your graphics card is responsible for rendering roughly 8.3 million pixels for every single frame. When you add complex effects like path tracing, that workload becomes a massive bottleneck for the GPU. So, instead of forcing it, we use the DLSS feature, which allows the hardware to render a much smaller image at 1080p, which is only about 2 million pixels. By reducing the target, the graphics card's job becomes significantly easier, which instantly leads to much higher performance and smoother motion. Once the smaller image is finished, AI upscaling technology takes over. It uses specialized cores on the GPU to analyze the small image and guess where the missing pixels should go, rebuilding it back up to a 4K output. This gives you the smooth motion of a low-resolution game, but with the sharp details of a high-resolution one. However, because the AI is essentially guessing the missing data, you might notice some blurring or smearing around the edges of objects in fast-moving scenes. So, while it provides the performance needed for path tracing, it can sometimes lack the perfect clarity of a native image, which is why most people prefer native resolutions instead. FSR. FSR stands for Fidelity FX Super Resolution and is AMD's version of upscaling technology. And just like DLSS, it is designed to give you a massive boost in performance without requiring an expensive graphics card. The way it works is very similar to what we discussed with DLSS. Now, if we are talking strictly about image quality, DLSS usually has the upper hand. But here's the good thing. Unlike DLSS, which is locked and only works if you have an Nvidia RTX card, FSR is open source, meaning it works on AMD, Nvidia, and even Intel graphics cards. This is important because you aren't forced to buy one specific brand of hardware just to get better performance. It breathes new life into older PCs and ensures that even budget-friendly builds can run demanding games with features like ray tracing enabled, ambient occlusion. If you're a PC gamer, you've probably seen this term a lot in your graphics settings. Ambient occlusion is a rendering technique by which object exposure is calculated with respect to its immediate surrounding. So even when a shadow isn't sharply defined, areas that receive less light, like corners or crevices, naturally appear darker. Ambient occlusion builds on this by adding soft shadows in those spaces, helping objects feel more grounded and realistic. This technique doesn't grab your attention like a ray-traced reflection, but it brings a subtle depth that makes the entire scene feel more lifelike as you explore it. AO comes in a few different styles, and each one handles shadows a bit differently. SSAO calculates occlusion based on what's visible on the screen. HBAO improves accuracy by considering horizon lines for better shadowing in crevices and corners, and XEGTAO is designed to provide high-quality screen space shadow. Frame generation. Frame generation is a technology that takes two real frames and then tries to interpolate the difference between them and then makes up that gap to make the game feel smoother at a higher frame rate. Instead of rendering pixels, the AI analyzes two frames and calculates exactly what should happen between them, thus inventing a middle frame. But despite being smoother, frame generation can also increase input lag and latency. To better understand this, let's compare these two images. Because the AI is literally inventing an entire frame out of thin air, it doesn't always get the details right. This can lead to what we call image artifacts, which are small visual glitches where the screen looks distorted or wavy for a split second. As a result, frame generation is definitely not ideal for fast-paced competitive shooters where reaction time is everything. However, this technology is a complete game changer for massive AAA cinematic titles like Cyberpunk or The Witcher, because in these games, the environment, the lighting, and the overall atmosphere are what matter most.
VRAM.
VRAM stands for Video Random Access Memory, and it's like the RAM in your PC but specifically for your GPU. A GPU itself is kind of like its own motherboard where you have the chip, some RAM, a power connector, and even I/O ports, all which I explained in this video right here. But for gaming, the VRAM is where the textures and other game assets are stored. That way, the GPU chip can access them more quickly. For 2026, the minimum VRAM you should buy on a card is 8 GB. But that number is rising quickly, so I'd recommend 12 or 16 GB just to be safe. HDR. HDR stands for High Dynamic Range, and it is a technique that significantly boosts your contrast, allowing your screen to show much darker darks and much brighter highlights at the exact same time. The cool thing is, you probably already have this tech in your pocket. Most modern smartphones, like the latest iPhones and Galaxy Ultras, can now record and display full HDR videos and images. However, to see this on your PC, you need a monitor that specifically supports HDR, and for the best experience, you should go for a mini LED or an OLED monitor. Anti-aliasing. Anti-aliasing refers to the technology that removes jaggies or the staircase effect known as aliasing from your video games in real time, making them appear smoother. It does this by blending the colors of pixels along an edge to create the illusion of a perfectly smooth line. At high resolutions like 4K, the effect isn't very noticeable unless you're sitting right up against your monitor. So anti-aliasing is enabled to change what's being outputted by blending pixels together in a way that makes it more clean for whatever resolution your display has. Anisotropic filtering. Ever seen this in your game settings? 4x, 8x, or even 16, and wonder what it does? If you have, that's anisotropic filtering, a feature that seeks to reduce jaggies within the textures themselves and make them appear much higher quality, especially when viewed from extreme angles. So in this example, on the left, it looks terrible past the immediate vicinity on the plane that is presumably coming down on the runway, whereas on the right with anisotropic filtering enabled, it looks great even further on onto the distance, or at least much better. Texture quality. Textures are the 2D images wrapped around 3D objects, like the skin on a character's face or the detail on a brick wall. And just to clarify, textures are different from resolution. Resolution is the physical grid of pixels on your monitor, while texture quality is the detail of the image itself. Looking at this image on low settings, Homelander's suit looks kind of blurry and lacks fine details. When set to medium, some patterns become more visible, but may show slight repetitions in obvious materials. On high, the realistic grit in the leather and the fine stitching on his cape is revealed. However, when you move from high to ultra in most cases, the difference is often small but eats up way more VRAM. NVENC. NVENC, short for Nvidia encoder, is a dedicated hardware feature in Nvidia graphics cards that handle video encoding. Unlike software encoders which rely on your CPU, NVENC offloads that massive workload entirely to your GPU. The encoder is supported in many live streaming and recording programs including OBS, as well as video editing softwares. And because it's a separate piece of hardware, you can stream or record in high quality with almost zero impact on your FPS. I got more videos coming soon. Subscribe to see them.